Pops here. Wanted to go over a couple of different exercises that I like to do at home at times, and some of my favorites. They're a little variation on bands and kettlebells. Got a few bands here. Some old. That's a big band. This band you could squat with this thing. You get that sucker underneath you. Oh man, yeah. Deadlifting. Got a couple kettlebells in here today, right now. This is the one that I really wanted to talk about right now, the kettlebell. Why I love the kettlebell so much. The kettlebell is probably one of the most versatile of all the workout equipment you could possibly get, because you can do so much with it. You can curl with it, you can squat with it, you can shoulder press with it, you can bench press with it, or kettlebell press with it, and then of course there's all the other different kettlebell exercises, such as the Turkish get up and the waiter's carry and so on, the power clean. What I wanted to go over today is a couple little variations of some of these things. And one of them specifically is recognizing the placement of the weights. Now, one of the things that I see in most of the people doing exercises, they like to have the weight behind the hand when they're pressing, which is great. And for what it's worth, it's very good. Try it in front. It's a little harder when you're doing it shoulder presses. You have that bell in front, it's a little harder. Now, the one that's really challenging, bottoms up, pressing it with that weight overhand. Because what you have to do now is you got to balance this thing, and it starts to become rather difficult rather quickly. And of course, if you're doing two, now it becomes a really challenging exercise. This is something that will build your stability in your upper body and your lower body, because if you're doing it standing up, you're going to help build stability all over. But particularly in those moving muscles, those moving limbs, your stabilizers are going to go through the roof. And this is kind of how to look at it, in my opinion. Doing the kettlebell, particularly bottoms up, is the difference between doing a machine press versus an actual flat bench press, versus trying to do the same weight with dumbbells. It becomes harder as you take away the mechanical stability, and it becomes more on you. So the same applies here. It's really that simple. Now, here's an even bigger challenge. Ha ha ha. The stability ball. This one is particularly for shoulder press, chest press. This becomes really challenging because if you do it the way I'm about to show you here, it becomes exceptionally challenging really quickly. Get some of these bands out of the way here. Because you're going to be laying on the stability ball across your shoulders. and you're going to try to press these. It becomes a challenge. Everything's going to be trying to stabilize. Only going to do a few reps right now, and these are only 20s. I have up to 35s, and the 35s are pretty challenging, particularly if you get a couple warm-ups with the other dumbbell or kettlebells. It becomes a real challenge to do them shoulder press. Same thing. It's a challenge. It's pretty difficult. After a little bit, you will find the pump is pretty good. Everything gets pumped. The forearms, because it takes an awful lot to balance that bell up above that hand. Bottoms up, shoulder press, bottoms up, chest press, doing them even bottoms up squats. Oh, where are you going? Get out of the way. Yeah, some fun stuff. So that's just a couple of different ideas on the kettlebell.